Welcome to Stony Brook Field on this beautiful day, the first day of August here at Stony Brook Field, and that's why this game's starting at 4. Just trying to keep the daylight going here. It's going to be Orleans versus Brewster in a game that actually really matters. I'm Maura Sheridan alongside Carter Woodeel. We'll have Aiden Doyle, our sideline reporter, joining us shortly, but as we were just talking about, this is a game that matters for both teams, but actually matters a lot for Orleans. They are number 1 right now, but they only lead YD by 1 point in the East Division standing, so with only 3 games left in the season, they want to secure that number 1 spot and home field advantage for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's really, if you look at the way the standings are shaping up in the Eastern Division, Orleans and YD are going to battle to the final day for the 1 seed, and the Whitecaps and the Anglers are going to battle to the final day for the 3 seed. Right now, they're dead even at 40 points apiece. Chatham has the tiebreaker barely. You have to go to the 3rd tiebreaker before you can separate the 2 teams. So there's a lot to play for down the stretch, even if the managers might be approaching it differently depending on which dugout you're in.
And this Brewster Whitecaps team is coming off a big win against YD, the first one they got all season against the Red Sox. They traveled to Red Wilson Field and were able to bring home a 5-1 victory, a really complete game for the Whitecaps. We saw Nick Dunn continue his hitting streak, 16 games for him. Before the game, you and I were talking about how much he's improved in this 16-game stretch, which really is almost half the season. He just seems like a totally different player for this Brewster Whitecaps team.
Yeah, way back when the streak started against Wareham on July 11th, his average was 254, was Nick Dunn. Now he's coming into this game 339. He's had a terrific, just on a tear with this hitting streak, and it's been something that I think has propelled the rest of the team. I mean, Jamie Shevchik talks a lot about how the leaders on his team are important for the team as a whole, beyond their own individual performance, and I think Nick Dunn is a great example of that.
And that was a win the Whitecaps really wanted. They hadn't beat the YD Red Sox all year. They were able to bring home that win, but today they're going to have a bit of a different strategy. They're pitching today Tony Losi on the mound starting, but they already have the innings limit, so to speak, set up for him. 2 innings for Losi, then they're going to have Joe Demirs 2 innings, Molatier 3 innings, and then Zach Schneider 2 innings. So Coach Shevchik is approaching this game differently. He wants his arms fresh as this playoff picture approaches.
Yeah, he's made it clear he does not care whom the Whitecaps are going to be matched up against, whether it's YD or Orleans. He would much rather have the assurance that he's got the rotation that he likes, he's got the lineup that he likes. He knows that the guys that he's going to trot out there once Game 1 rolls around on Saturday are guys that are hot, guys that he thinks are going to be in a position to play well, and that is why he's got this so-called scripted game set up on the pitching side.
As for these pitchers, they're going to face an Orleans lineup that is a tough one. As always, this Orleans Firebirds team is a tough one to beat. The Whitecaps have only done it once this year. That was in the very first game of the season on June 14th. So it's been quite a while since the Whitecaps have edged out the Firebirds, and I'll get you started on that starting lineup that is going to be put out there by Kelly Nicholson. Leading off, the very dangerous leadoff hitter, Jimmy Herron. He'll also be in center field for the Firebirds. At the 2 spot, it's going to be Ethan Paul, teammate of Julian Infante at Vanderbilt. He'll be at second base today for the Firebirds. Batting third, it's going to be Nico Decolotti. He'll also be at third base. Batting fourth, it's going to be Steven Scott. He's also another Vanderbilt Commodore. He'll be in left field. Batting fifth, it's going to be Kevin Stroshine. He'll be the designated hitter for the Firebirds today. Batting sixth, and behind the plate is going to be Austin Hale, and he'll be catching today. Batting seventh, Brandon Reilly. He'll be in right field. Batting eighth, it's going to be Steve Passatempo. He'll be at first base today, and rounding out the lineup for the Orleans Firebirds, it's going to be Jeff Hope, and he'll be at shortstop today. And on the mound, it's going to be the ace, Logan Gilbert. He's been great for this Orleans Firebirds team. He was a Cape League All-Star, and he has a 1.22 ERA. Just really been stellar for this Orleans team.
Yeah, he's one of the top pro prospects that you're going to find on the Cape. A league full of top pro prospects. He's had a terrific year out of Stetson, and one thing to look out for, he's got a fastball that can be in the mid-90s and a curveball that can get swings and misses. When you've got 2 lights-out pitches like that, you can go very far, and so far this season he's been very consistent for the Birds when he's taken the mound.
As for the home team, the Whitecaps, their leadoff hitter, Nick Dunn, we've talked about his hitting streak. He'll also be the designated hitter today. Batting second, it's going to be Kyle Datris. He'll be at first base today. In the 3 spot, it's Chandler Taylor in right field for the Whitecaps. Batting fourth is going to be Christian Molfetta. He'll be at second for Brewster. Batting fifth, it's going to be Hunter Bishop. He'll be in center field. Batting sixth, Justin Coons, and he'll be behind the plate for the Whitecaps. In the seventh spot, Darius Hill over in left field today for Brewster. Batting eighth, Zach Hagan, and he'll be at third today for the Whitecaps. And rounding out the lineup, Connor Smith at shortstop. A bit of a defensive mix-up here for Jamie Shevchik's squad, and our own Aiden Doyle has more on that decision by Coach Shevchik. Aiden?
Thanks, Maura. Well, if you notice on the lineup, Kyle Datteris, who typically gets the start at third base for this Whitecaps team, moves across the diamond to first, and his UNC teammate Zach Hagan, who we've seen at first base this year, is at third today for the Whitecaps. When I talked to Coach Shevchik about that decision before the game, he said he really just wants to see Gahagan play a position other than first base today. So he wants to move him across the diamond, get him some reps at third, so that if in the playoffs they need him to play a position other than first, he already has that experience. It's more fresh in his mind than if he's just playing first every game. As for Datteris, he's actually never played first base before, or at least in organized baseball. So I talked to him like, what do you know about it? Have you talked to Julian Infante a bit, getting used to it? Maybe talk to Zach Hagan. He said, hey, how difficult can it be? Catch the ball, flip it to the pitcher. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aiden. So the UNC Tar Heels just kind of mixing it up in the lineup today for Jamie Shevchik. And then, as we talked about, starting pitcher is going to be Tony Losi, but he will only go 2 innings. But what do you expect from him after a big performance where he pitched 8 shutout innings in his last start?
Yeah, I don't think any Whitecaps fans are going to give Losi fits for not going deep into this game after that 8 innings that he threw. I think for Tony Losi, one of the things that he always focuses on any start is his fastball. How is he commanding it? Is he locating it well at the knees? Is he able to get that pitch that he loves to throw to right-handers where he gets a called strike on the outside corner with that fastball pitch? That's what I think he's going to be looking for, to make sure he's got command of that fastball and his breaking stuff as well. But command is going to be important for him. He's not always the most efficient pitcher, and even in a situation where he knows he's not going to have to go deep into the ball game, he would like those 2 innings to kind of go by as quick as they can, just to make sure he's in a rhythm heading into what's probably a Game 1 start come playoff time.
Orleans and Brewster coming up in just a couple of minutes. We'll pause quickly for the national anthem, and then on the other side we'll have more on a special presentation taking place on the field today. Stick with us. You don't want to miss that info on that presentation. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Channel 99 and Lower Cape TV.
Mr. Gentleman, Chris Lynch.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. We just heard a nice rendition of the national anthem where we saw a bunch of little kids here at Stony Brook Field join the Whitecaps as the national anthem was being sung out on the field. Really nice thing to see from the Brewster Whitecaps. And then we also saw Mickey Gasper get honored by the commissioner of the Cape League with an award, as we're seeing him get some pictures taken, as Gasper getting awarded as just having a great year here in the Cape. And he takes out the plaque, and you can tell he was very surprised. He was very tight-lipped about what was going to happen as they're starting the postseason awards. They're going around to all the teams where kids have won them for in the Cape League, and the commissioner is the one that hands those out. Mickey Gasper, well-deserved player, has been doing great for this Brewster Whitecaps squad.
Yeah, and it's for the best player from New England, and especially if you go to school in New England. And for Mickey Gasper, he's from New Hampshire, goes to Bryant University. Obviously falls right into that category, and especially as one of the best players that you're going to find on the Cape League. So well-deserved honor.
Well, someone who's not from New England, Tony Losi, on the mound right now, taking some warm-up pitches. Losi out of Georgia. As we talked about before, only going 2 innings today, barring some kind of change of heart from Coach Jamie Shevchik, as we saw him go 8 innings the last time he went out in a 9-0 win. 6 strikeouts in that game, only allowed 3 hits. A great performance from Tony Losi, one of the best we've seen all year from a Whitecaps pitcher.
Yeah, and one of the things that stood out to it was how he kind of demanded that he stay in that game. His pitch count was getting up there, upwards of 115 pitches by the time he was all finished with that outing. But he headed out of the dugout when the coaching staff thought about bringing in a new arm. He waved him away, saying, "Don't you dare," and he finished out his 8th shutout inning, and they were able to get the victory.
I'll get you started on the Whitecaps defensive lineup. It's going to be from left to right in the outfield. Darius Hale. He'll be in left field, then Hunter Bishop and Chandler Taylor. Then from left to right in the infield, it's going to be Zach Gahagan at third. Connor Smith, shortstop. At second, Christian Molfetta. And at first base, for the first time ever, Kyle Datris. Justin Coons will be behind the plate, and Tony Losi, as we talked about, will be on the mound. We talked to Aiden Doyle before this game. Kyle Datris getting his first start at first base ever. Not in high school, not in college has Kyle Datris ever played first, but he is out there today as Jimmy Herron enters the batter's box for the Orleans Firebirds to get this game started. Herron has been very dangerous against the Brewster Whitecaps and really against everybody, a Cape League All-Star, MVP of the All-Star game, and just a phenomenal leadoff hitter for this Firebird squad. Tony Losi getting set on the mound. And here comes the first pitch from Tony Losi. This one hit high into right field. Chandler Taylor on the move, and he will get under it, make the grab. And there goes the first batter for the Orleans Firebirds.
And one of the perhaps benefits for the outfielders here with the 4 o'clock start time compared to 5 o'clock is that at least early on in the game, the sun isn't quite as formidable, especially for the right fielders for each of these clubs. Of course, as the game wears on, that might change. You might see a few outfielders shading their eyes, but for now, Chandler Taylor is able to run down that ball without too much discomfort.
Now it's Ethan Paul's turn for the Orleans Firebirds. A big out there for Brewster. First pitch from Losi paints the outside corner. For strike number 1, count moves to 0-1. As I was talking about, big out there for Brewster as Jimmy Herron is very fast on the base paths as Ethan Paul swings and misses. At the next pitch from Tony Losi, an off-speed pitch there. Count moves to 0-2 on the number 2 hitter. Teammate of Julian Infante is at Vanderbilt. Also roommates with Connor Kaiser of the YD Red Sox at Vanderbilt. Here comes 0-2. This one misses up high. Counts now 1-2 on Paul. Paul, one of Orleans' many All-Stars. Firebirds had 8 in the East Division this year. Here comes the 1-2. This one misses way outside. Count moves to 2-2. No score yet. It's the top of the first inning, just the second batter today. There is 1 out here at Stony Brook Field. Losi shaking off a couple of pitches from Justin Coons. Who's behind the plate today? Paul calls time. Steps out of the batter's box. It is a nice day, pitcher perfect, but a little bit hot here at Stony Brook Field. Here comes the 2-2. A swing and a miss from Ethan Paul, and that's the first strikeout of the day for Tony Losi.
Well, we were talking about fastball command at the top of the show. I'm not sure if that fastball was meant to go all the way up and in like that, but you'll certainly take it as Losi was able to just blow that one straight by him.
So 2 up, 2 down for Tony Losi and the Brewster Whitecaps. And now it's Nico Decolotti up to bat for Orleans. As I was talking about, another one of the Firebirds All-Stars. I think I'm going to say that a lot today. First pitch. Swung on and hit softly over to third base. Gahagan gloves it and throws it over to Kyle Datris at first and completes the out. So 3 up, 3 down for Tony Losi to start out this game, top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on for the Orleans Firebirds. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. We're in the bottom of the first inning. No score yet here in Brewster, Massachusetts, as Logan Gilbert gets warmed up on the mound for the Orleans Firebirds. I'll get you set up on the defense behind Gilbert. From left to right in the outfield, it's going to be Scott, Herron, and Reilly. And then from left to right in the infield, it's going to be Decolotti, Hopi, Paul, and Passatempo over at first. Austin Hale behind the plate, and then as I mentioned, Logan Gilbert on the mound for the Orleans Firebirds. He'll face Nick Dunn, Kyle Datris, and Chandler Taylor, all due up for the Brewster Whitecaps. Logan Gilbert, Atlantic Sun Pitcher of the Year, plays for Stetson, joined in the battery with his Stetson teammate Austin Hale. As Nick Dunn walks up to the batter's box for the Brewster Whitecaps. Dunn batting .339 on the Cape League so far. Had a conversation with Coach Jamie Shevchik about halfway through the year, and since then he has been on fire. First pitch to Dunn is in for a called strike. Count moves to 0-1. Dunn, the designated hitter today for the Whitecaps. Here comes the 0-1 from Gilbert. That one misses just outside. Counts now 1-1. Gilbert staring in, moving quickly. Here's the 1-1. This one fouled off behind Nick Dunn. And it counts now 1-2. Gilbert is a second-year Orleans Firebird. Had a great year with them last year as paints the outside corner and catches Nick Dunn looking as Dunn strolls back, and that's a strikeout to start this game for Logan Gilbert. Gilbert is moving very quickly here on the mound. He has really been the ace for this Firebird squad, although they have a lot of great pitchers. Also, as I said before, one of 8 Firebirds to make the All-Star game. His first pitch to Kyle Datras gets a swing and a miss. Kyle Datras waves at that one. And counts now 0-1 on the UNC Tar Heel. Here comes the 0-1. This one fouled off into the cage behind him. And Kyle Datras gets behind in the count. 0-2. Datras over at first today for the Whitecaps. Not a position we've ever seen him in. Offensively, he's batting .217 for Brewster. Typically see him at third base, and he has quick hands and has done a great job over there for the Whitecaps as he'll foul the next pitch from Gilbert up in the air over the press box. Lands on the hill. Count still 0-2, Datras staying alive. Again, we're in the bottom of the first inning, and there's no score here in Brewster, Massachusetts. Next pitch from Gilbert misses outside. Down in the dirt. Counts 1-2 on Datras. Gilbert staring it. Here comes the 1-2. This one misses just inside. Moves the count to 2-2. Gilbert deserving of a lot of praise, as I mentioned. Atlantic Sun Pitcher of the Year, first Team A Sun as the 2-2. Again, misses inside, runs the count full on Kyle Datras. Also a second-team All-American. He had a 10-0 record at Stetson this year in 12 starts and 15 appearances. Also had 107 strikeouts this year, including 18 in one game against Florida Gulf Coast, as Kyle Datras just barely chips this one foul and stays alive. Counts still 3-2. Kyle Datras putting up a fight here. The second batter that Logan Gilbert's faced today after he struck out leadoff hitter Nick Dunn.
It's always rough when a baseball gets running on your hands and you fight it off. There's nothing you can do. You're not going to get an extra base out of it. Got to dig back in against a very good pitcher.
Here comes the payoff pitch. This one again fouled high into the air above the press box, and the count's still full on Kyle Datras. Gilbert was able to get Nick Dunn quickly, and now Datras making him work for this out. Gilbert takes a deep breath. Here comes the pitch. This one hit to shortstop. It's going to be Hopi, makes the grab. The throw over is not in time. That throw was just a little short, and Pasatempa had to step in front and was unable to leave his foot on the bag. And Kyle Datras is the first base runner for the Brewster Whitecaps.
That's, I guess, a bit of a karmic reward there for Datras. Kind of a little ground ball right in the hole, a little bit fortunate as to where it wound up, but put together an excellent at-bat, as you were saying, more fouling off pitch after pitch, so that he was able to put himself in a position where he might get a little bit lucky, and now he's aboard, and he's a threat to run whenever he's on the base paths.
Kyle Datras is 5-for-5 stealing bases this year. Hasn't been caught once on the year, as Chandler Taylor enters the batter's box for the Whitecaps. Here comes the first pitch. That one below the knees. Counts now 1-0 on Chandler Taylor out of Alabama. batting .245 on the year with a .394 on-base percentage. 9 home runs for Chandler Taylor as he waves on the next pitch from Gilbert. Counts now 1-1. Chandler Taylor really the hero last week in 2 games for the Brewster Whitecaps. We saw him hit home runs against Wareham and Bourne on the road to put his team up when they were down. Especially against Wareham, helped clinch the playoffs as once again Chandler Taylor swings at a pitch that was pretty low and counts now 1-2 on number 46 for the Whitecaps. Kyle Datris on first, got on an infield single. Chandler Taylor steps out of the batter's box, takes a deep breath, and re-enters for the Whitecaps. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Gilbert quickly checks up on Datris, who dives back to first and remains safe on the bag.
I think regardless of whether or not Datris is able to come around and score or get into position for Brewster, you have to like, if you're Jamie Shevchik, how this team is making Logan Gilbert work early.
Here comes the 1-2. A breaking ball that Chandler Taylor hits over to Hopi. That one is caught by Hopi, and then the throw to first goes out of play, so Kyle Datris will jog over to second on that one. So there is now 2 outs because Hopi made that play, but because it went out, Kyle Datris will move over to third.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Datris realized he kind of got to second, and one of the umpires, I think it was third base ump Vincent Medina, said, hey, you got third base too, because you had left first base, the ball went out of play, you get a couple of bases, and so now for Brewster, a big spot early for Christian Malfetta. Of course, Kelly Nicholson seems to be taking exception to the ruling, or whatever it is. He's having a chat with Al Libradoni, the home plate ump, but now seems to be satisfied.
So Chandler Taylor, whether he meant to or not, moves the runner to third, a line drive, and then just a kind of an overthrow from Hopi there that just wasn't able to hit past a Tempa. And Kyle Datris is now at third for Christian Malfetta, so the go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Brewster Whitecaps. Here comes the first pitch to Christian Malfetta, fouled out behind him into the netting. Counts 0-1. Malfetta has 9 RBIs on the year so far for Brewster. Been kind of a role player for the Whitecaps, comes in when needed, over at second today for Brewster. The 0-1. This is inside. Malfetta had to kind of jump out of the way in order for that not to hit him. Counts now 1-1 on the Stanford Cardinal. Gilbert with the 1-1. This one hit hard into right field and will drop in. Christian Malfetta will bring home the first run of this game as Malfetta tried to take second and was called out on that one. So Christian Malfetta tried to make that a double and was unsuccessful. But still, Kyle Datris does score. Brewster goes up 1-0 after they do bring home a run and leave nobody on off of 2 hits for the Brewster Whitecaps. Again, the score is 1-0. Brewster on top. We're through 1 inning of play. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. It's going to be Steven Scott, Kevin Stroheim, and Austin Hale up to bat for the Orleans Firebirds. They'll face Tony Losi for what is expected to be his last inning pitching today for the Brewster Whitecaps. Losi getting the start, but only going 2 innings. According to Jamie Shevchik and his plan, he'll be replaced by Joe Demers. Losi staring in. Here comes the first pitch from the Georgia Bulldog. That one misses or finds a strike zone. Count moves to 0-1. Steven Scott up to bat for Orleans. Scott was the home run derby champion at Wareham this year as he swings and misses at the next pitch from Tony Losi. Count moves to 0-2. Scott teammates with Julian Infante at Vanderbilt and with Ethan Paul, who we saw strike out against Tony Losi, one of the Orleans Firebirds. Just barely edged out Chandler Taylor for that home run derby championship, as next pitch from Tony Losi misses just outside. Counts now 1-2. Justin Coons tried to paint that one, but Al Liberdoni called it a ball, so it's 1-2 count on Scott, as Losi does find the strike zone on that one and gets Steven Scott to strike out looking.
If at first you don't succeed, right, More? I mean, that's what that was there. Tony Losi just missed in Al Liberdoni's eyes the first time and then was able to just get it on the outer black the second time out. I mean, Tony Losi clearly trusting that heater, driving it in a couple of times to get the K.
That's Losi's second strikeout of the day. He also got Ethan Paul, so both the Vanderbilt Commodores going out via the strikeout as Tony Losi misses inside to Kevin Stroshine. Counts 1-0 on Stroshine, the designated hitter today for the Firebirds. The 1-0. This one misses below the knees. And Stroshine goes ahead in the count 2-0. Stroshine was teammates with Steven Scott last year in the NECBL. They were with the Newport Gulls, and now they're here in Orleans. So 2 summers together in New England for Scott and Stroshine, as Losi's next pitch is hit high into center field. Hunter Bishop on the move, moving over into right center, and is able to make that grab with Chandler Taylor kind of right in front of him. So Hunter Bishop is able to make that out. Could have been a little disastrous there for the Brewster Whitecaps, as the two of them, Chandler Taylor and Hunter Bishop, are pretty close to each other, but regardless, it's 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Brewster up 1-0. Kyle Datris came home in the bottom of the first to make this the score that it is, and Austin Hale now up to bat for the Orleans Firebirds. First pitch to Hale misses inside, counts now 1-0. Hale is behind the plate for the Firebirds today. He's catching for his teammate Logan Gilbert, as the 1-0 is fouled by Hale on the first base side. High and away, counts now 1-1. Hale catches for Gilbert and his other Stetson teammate who's on the Firebirds, Brooks Wilson, as Losi again misses inside, counts now 2-1. Losi staring in. Here comes the 2-1. This one hit hard to shortstop. Connor Smith makes the grab and throws it over to Kyle Datris at first. And that's, once again, 3 up, 3 down for Tony Losi. The Orleans Firebirds do not get a hit, do not score a run, and leave nobody on. The Whitecaps are up 1-0. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Bishop, Coons, and Hale all due up for the Brewster Whitecaps. They are up 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning on the Orleans Firebirds. Logan Gilbert still on the mound for Orleans as Hunter Bishop gets ready for this start of the second inning for the Brewster Whitecaps offense. First pitch from Gilbert, a swing and a miss from Hunter Bishop. Goes behind in the count 0-1. Bishop's kind of come into his own for the Whitecaps out of ASU, batting .214 and has a .336 on base percentage as the next pitch from Gilbert misses outside. Counts now 1-1 on Hunter Bishop. The 1-1. A big swing and miss from Hunter Bishop again, and counts now 1-2. We've seen Hunter Bishop strike out a lot this year for the Whitecaps as Gilbert misses up high, counts now 2-2. But as the season kind of wore on, Bishop was able to show more plate discipline for Brewster. He's one of the youngest guys on the team as once again Gilbert misses outside. Counts now 3-2, full count on Hunter Bishop, but Jamie Shevchik, he likes what he sees with Hunter Bishop and says he's got the tools to be a pro player as Hunter Bishop works a walk as Gilbert misses outside, and now Brewster has a base runner to start out this bottom of the second inning.
That's good to see from Jamie Shevchik's perspective for Hunter Bishop. He's a guy who's had troubles avoiding the strikeout this year, tied for the team lead in Ks, able to work a walk to lead off the second. Seems like the big innings always start with a leadoff walk, and now Brewster has a chance to work from there.
Now it's Justin Coons up to bat for Brewster. First pitch to Coons, a big swing and a miss. Counts now 0-1 on the catcher today for the Brewster Whitecaps. Gilbert staring in, glances over at Hunter Bishop at first. A breaking ball there moves the count to 0-2 from Gilbert. Justin Coons quickly going behind as Hunter Bishop is on first, got on via the walk. Here comes the pitch. Hunter Bishop on the move to second. The throw from Hale is not in time. Hunter Bishop is safe at second. So Brewster gets a runner in scoring position as Hunter Bishop steals second. Nice throw there from Hale, but just not quite in time. Hunter Bishop does have a lot of speed on the base pass as a breaking ball gets Justin Coons looking, and that's another strikeout for Logan Gilbert. He had one to start out this game against Nick Dunn, so 2 strikeouts today for Gilbert. Now it's Darius Hill's turn.
And both of those strikeouts looking able to freeze 2 Whitecaps early on in this ballgame with his stuff.
Hunter Bishop at second. Darius Hill now up to bat. There is 1 out. Here comes the pitch from Gilbert. This one hit and will be grabbed by Jimmy Herron over in center field. That was a pretty hard hit baseball from Darius Hill, but just right into the glove of Jimmy Herron in center field. So there is now 2 outs as Hunter Bishop remains at second for the Brewster Whitecaps, and now it's Zach Cahagan's turn. Whitecaps lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Zach Cahagan digging in for the Whitecaps. Gilbert swiveling his head, looking over at Bishop as the breaking ball misses outside to Cahagan. Counts now 1-0. Cahagan out of UNC, batting .178 on the year with a .275 on base percentage. Here comes the 1-0. A swing and a miss from Cahagan. Counts now 1-1. Cahagan's a second-year Whitecap, and although he's been struggling a little bit this year for Brewster, Coach Jamie Shevchik loves what he brings in terms of leadership on this team. A rising senior, as he calls for time, counts 1-1 on Cahagan. And Shevchik just loves how Cahagan's always out there talking to his teammates, supporting them. doesn't get a ton of playing time for the Whitecaps, but always very, very supportive. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball misses outside. Count now 2-1 on Gahagan. Hunter Bishop worked a walk in the very beginning of this inning and then stole second. That's where he remains. There's 2 outs, and Zach Gahagan's just trying to bring Hunter Bishop home. Here comes the 2-1. This one fouled straight behind him, and count moves to 2-2 on Gahagan. Gahagan does have 1 RBI on the year. And Hunter Bishop has enough speed over there at second that he could probably get home, depending on the type of hit from Gahagan. Here comes the 2-2. A breaking ball, this one hit and finds the gap. Shortstop Hopi unable to get in. Hunter Bishop rounds third and crosses home. And Zach Gahagan gets his second RBI off of a single, and Brewster goes up 2-0.
I'm sure that's great for Zach Gahagan to double the RBI total with 1 swing there more, and you're right, the speed was important. That kind of was a funny little hit, took a kick off the pitcher's mound, but Hunter Bishop was able to kind of make that a no-doubter with the speed that he had coming around against a very good defensive outfielder in Heron out there in center field. And Brewster really jumping on top. Jamie Shevchik has talked a lot about how the first 2 innings can dictate how the rest of the game will go. So far, in the first 2 frames, it's been all Whitecaps.
Zach Gahagan's at first, and Brewster's now up 2-0. There is 2 outs, and it's going to be the number 9 hitter, Connor Smith. First pitch he sees from Gilbert, a called strike. Counts now 0-1 on Connor Smith. He's at shortstop today for Brewster, another guy that's kind of been a role player on this team. He has a lot of speed. We've seen him outrun a couple of infield singles this year as Gilbert misses up high. Counts now 1-1 on Connor Smith. Gilbert shakes off a couple of calls from Hale. Here comes the 1-1. Counts now 2-1 on Connor Smith. Smith batting .234 on the year for Brewster. Here comes the 2-1. This one fouled into the netting behind him. Count moves to 2-2. Smith out of Western Michigan does have a .311 on-base percentage. Seen time in 30 games for the Whitecaps. Does have 19 hits, none of which have been extra base hits. Here comes the 2-2. This one fouled on the first base side. Stays alive in this one does Connor Smith. So Smith has 19 singles on the year. Does have a ton of speed, but never able to get to second on just a hit. Here comes the 2-2. This one hit high and will drop in for a base hit on the left field side. Connor Smith will just stop at first, and now he has 20 singles on the year as Zach Gahagan moved to third. Now runners at the corners for the Brewster Whitecaps.
Yeah, Gahagan was going on that pitch, and that was a very important thing because he was able to just stay in stride, motor around second. He got into third base pretty easily, which is kind of surprising considering that was just a little bloop single toward the left side. But the left fielder, Scott, not able to get that ball in nearly in time. And so an important move there for Gahagan. Now if a ball gets away or if Nick Dunn hits it particularly hard, they'll be able to get a run in.
Hale goes and has a conversation with his pitcher, Gilbert, on the mound today. Now walks back behind the plate for Orleans. Appears that Hale is now signaling to his teammates for the Firebirds. Firebirds defense. Now again walks behind the plate. And it's Nick Dunn up to bat for Brewster. Probably who you want up to bat in this situation, as Nick Dunn's been on fire recently for the Whitecaps. Here comes the first pitch of Dunn. This one fouled into the netting behind him. Count moves to 0-1. Again, it's Connor Smith at first and Zach Gahagan at third for the Brewster Whitecaps. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning, and Brewster's up 2-0. Here comes the 0-1 from Gilbert. A breaking ball that misses below the knees. Counts now 1-1 on Nick Dunn. Nick Dunn struck out in his first at-bat in the first inning. Here comes the 1-1. This one again fouled. High above the third base line. Counts now 1-2. Dunn, one of 2 Maryland Terrapins on this team. Marty Costas also on the team, both of which have been playing great. We saw Nick Dunn homer against YD the other day to make it a 5-1 game, and Marty Costas went 4 for 5 in that game. The 1-2, this one misses way outside. Counts now 2-2.
Well, with the pitch out there, they've got 2 speedy runners on the base paths, especially Smith at second. I guess kind of guarding for Smith to try and take second base with the runner at third as well.
Gilbert glances over at Smith. Here comes the 2-2. And Nick Dunn is able to hit it over to Jeff Hopey, who made a diving play and was able to stop that. But Nick Dunn does get into first, and Zach Hagan does score. So a hit for Nick Dunn and an RBI at that, as Zach Hagan scores and makes it this a 3-0 game. Brewster on top of Orleans.
And it keeps the streak going. 17 straight, now for Nick Dunn at 16 coming into the ball game. An infield hit is still hitting. He got a homer yesterday, and now the infield singled today. But they both count toward the streak. And more importantly, I'm sure if you ask Nick Dunn, he was able to get a run in for his club. And Brewster has looked very calm and confident in this ball game. You wouldn't know how long it's been since they've beaten New Orleans by how we've been watching the Whitecaps play so far in this game.
Jamie Quinn, the pitching coach for the Orleans Firebirds, just walked out to have a quick conversation with Gilbert and Hale. Now retreating back to the dugout for Orleans. Nick Dunn at first. And Connor Smith is at third for the Brewster Whitecaps. Or second, excuse me. Kyle Datras up to bat. Here comes the pitch. A swing and a miss from Kyle Datras. Counts now 0-1. Brewster scored 2 runs in this bottom of the second inning to take the 3-0 lead they have right now. Here comes the 0-1. This one misses up high. Counts now 1-1 on Kyle Datras, who scored the first Brewster run in the first inning. Got on a single. Here comes the 1-1. This one, a line drive, hit right to third. Nico Decolotti makes the grab. But Brewster scores 2 runs in this bottom of the second inning. And they go up 3-0. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Reilly, Passatempo, and Hopi all due up. The bottom of the lineup for the Orleans Firebirds. And they're going to face Joe Demers, who replaces Tony Losi. It's part of Jamie Shevchek's plan for the day. Demers supposed to go 2 innings today for the Whitecaps. First pitch we see from Demers. Paints the outside corner. Counts now 0-1 on Brandon Reilly. Reilly, one of the UNC Tar Heels. one of many, 14 to be exact in the Cape League this year. Here comes the 0-1. This one hit high into left field. On the move is Darius Hale, who gets under it, and that's good for out number 1 in the top of the 3rd inning.
Good job by Darius Hill taking charge. I know we saw kind of a strange situation out in right center with Bishop and Taylor early on in this ball game, but that time Zach Hagan, the third baseman, probably could have made that play. Definitely was in that area, but Darius Hill took the ball that was his.
And now it's going to be Steve Passatempo up to bat with 1 out. As Brandon Reilly goes out on a pop fly. First pitch from Demers misses down and away. Counts now 1-0. Passatempo over at first base today, plays for UMass Lowell, didn't travel very far to be in the Cape League this summer as he swings and misses at the next pitch from Demers. Counts now 1-1. He's also a Medford, Mass native, so just a Boston guy all around, and I actually had a conversation with him at Fenway Park in the players' workout as the breaking ball misses just a little high. Counts now 2-1 on Passatempo, and he said he'd been dreaming of going to Fenway Park and being on that field since he was a little kid, so that was a great day for Passatempo as the next pitch misses. And counts now 3-1. Joe Demers working quickly as always. We saw Tony Losi pitch 2 perfect innings. He saw 6 batters and retired all 6 of them. Joe Demers drops one in for a strike and counts now 3-2. Demers shaking off a couple of signs from Justin Coons behind the plate. Here comes the payoff pitch. This one misses up high, and Passatempo works a walk for the first base runner of this game for the Orleans Firebirds.
It just couldn't quite get that fastball to locate there, did Joe Demers. Not typically a guy who walks a lot of batters. Only 3 coming into this game in 18 innings pitched. Now he's got 4. He'll look to reset here.
Demers staring in. He'll face the number 9 hitter Jeff Hopey, who shows bunt and then takes a strike from Demers. Counts now 0-1. Hopey over at short today for the Firebirds. Batting .157 for Orleans this summer. 0-1 once again shows bunt. This one down and outside. Counts now 1-1 on Hopey. Whereas Passatempo didn't travel far, Hopey sure did, out of San Diego. He started every game for USD. As this next pitch from Demers misses high and outside, and Justin Coons gave a glance over to Passatempo at first. Counts 2-1 on Hopey. Here comes a 2-1. A swing and a miss from Hopey moves the count to 2-2. Joe Demers working his way back into this at-bat. Demers, along with Paulie Milto and Jonathan Stever, have really been the workhorses of this Brewster team, coming in relief as the 2-2 is just chopped foul straight behind him, and Hopey stays alive in this at-bat. Again, runner on first. It's Passatempo, who got on via the walk. First base runner for the Orleans Firebirds, trying to get some offense going. They're down 3-0 on Brewster in the top of the 3rd inning. Demers looks over at Passatempo, then holds a set. Here comes the 2-2. This one again, chopped foul straight behind him, and Hopey making Demers work here. Counts still 2-2. Hopey took a couple practice swings. Now re-enters the batter's box. Here comes the 2-2. This one chopped to first. Kyle Datris is able to get under it, but that one's going to be called foul. Right on the first base line. So Hopey will walk back into the batter's box. A little lucky there. that one had stayed fair. Kyle Datras was right under it.
That was Al Liberdoni's call of the home plate umpire before it reaches first base. It's the home plate ump's job to make that call, and he judged that when Datras gloved it, it was just in foul ground in terms of the plane of the line. One of the more tricky calls to make for a home plate umpire.
Here comes the 2-2. This one hit to Kyle Datras again at first, who makes a throw over to second, and that completes a double play. Kyle Datras, a smart play there, turns around, throws it to second, gets past the tempo out, and then the throw over to first gets Hopi out. So regardless of getting their first base runner on, the Orleans Firebirds are unable to score. They're still down 3-0 on the Brewster Whitecaps. We're through 2.5 innings of play. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Taylor, Molfetta, and Bishop all due up for the Brewster Whitecaps, and they'll face a new pitcher for the Orleans Firebirds. It's going to be Graham Stinson, who comes in the game in relief for Logan Gilbert. And he's taking his warm-up pitches now for the Firebirds, who are down 3-0 in the bottom of the third on the Brewster Whitecaps. And he'll have a tough batter to face in Chandler Taylor. In the first inning against Gilbert, in Chandler Taylor's first at-bat, he hit a hard-hit line drive, but it was just right in the direction of Jeff Hopi over at short. As Taylor now digging in for the Whitecaps, the lefty batter. Holding the set is Stinson. Stinson out of Duke, as Chandler Taylor foul tips this first pitch he sees off to move the count to 0-1, and Hale will grab the ball and then go have a quick conversation with his new pitcher. As Stinson out of Duke, teammates with Jimmy Herron over at Duke, one of the Blue Devils, has a 2.59 ERA for the Firebirds. Has 11 appearances and only one start, so typically a relief guy for the Firebirds, 17 and a third innings pitched this summer. Does have 30 strikeouts as Chandler Taylor calls for time, and only walks 8, so doesn't struggle too much with control on the mound. Stinson holding the set. Here comes the 0-1. That one Breaking ball that misses up high. Counts now 1-1 against Chandler Taylor. Whereas Logan Gilbert worked very quickly on the mound. Stinson takes his time. Here comes the 1-1. This one misses outside. Counts now 2-1 against Taylor.
The final line on Gilbert: 2 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed. He gave up 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, walked 1, and struck out 2 for the Firebirds today.
Here comes the 2-1. This one fouled into the backstop and moves the count to 2-2. As one of the Brewster bat boys runs out to grab the ball. Counts again 2-2. This is the first batter that Stinson's faced today. Brewster trying to extend a 3-0 lead. As Stinson is asking for a new ball, he'll throw it back to Hale and exchange it for a nice new one from home plate ump Al Liberdoni. Stinson now holding the set, getting ready. Waiting on the 2-2 is Chandler Taylor. And here it comes. This one a swing and a miss. Got Chandler Taylor, but a dropped strike there by Hale, who is able to make the throw to Passatempo at first to get Chandler out via a strikeout to start out his time on the mound.
That was a nice one there from Graham Stinson to get Chandler Taylor swinging. With Taylor, he's always going to be a guy who's swinging big. The goal is to prevent him from squaring anything up, because he can really be dangerous, and that time he was able to fool him.
Now it's Christian Molfetta up to bat for Brewster. Molfetta has an RBI on the day, brought home the first Brewster run with a single. Kyle Datris able to come home on that play. First pitch is fouled on the first base side by Molfetta. Counts 0-1 from Stinson. Molfetta out of Laguna Beach, batting .241 for the Whitecaps with a .283 on-base percentage. Now has 10 RBIs with the one we saw today, but nobody on for Brewster. And 1 out as the next pitch from Stinson misses outside. Counts now 1-1 on Molfetta. The Whitecaps had a big bottom of the second inning. They scored 2 runs off of 3 hits. They did leave 2 runners on, as we saw Nick Dunn continue his hitting streak in that inning, now on a 17-game hitting streak. As this next pitch from Stinson misses below the knees, counts now 2-1 on Christian Molfetta. Stinson staring in. Here comes the pitch. This one again misses below the knees, and Christian Molfetta goes up in the count 3-1. Christian Molfetta did drive home that first run on a single, and then ended the inning on that very same play as he tried to just kind of work a double there and was thrown out as Hale hit one high into right field. It's the right fielder Reilly moving in and makes the catch as Christian Molfetta goes down via the pop fly, and it's 2 up, 2 down for the Brewster Whitecaps.
It just got underneath that one just a little bit for Christian Molfetta. Now Hunter Bishop will try and get something going.
There's not a lot of wind here at Stony Brook Field today. We usually see it's usually pretty windy here in Brewster, Mass, but not today. It's a hot one too. As this game started at 4, as all games do at Stony Brook Field in August, Hunter Bishop shows bunt and bunts one on the first base line and is able to outrun the throw from pitcher Stinson. That one went way over Passatempo's head, and Hunter Bishop takes second on an error there from the Orleans Firebirds. So Bishop lays down a bunt, gets first, and then takes second on an error for the Brewster Whitecaps. Now a runner in scoring position for Justin Coons.
Yeah, we'll see if that's on Stinson, the pitcher, or Passatempo, the hurler. Either way, gutsy call for Hunter Bishop to lay down the bunt there, and then did it beautifully and kept his hustle going as soon as he came around first base. Didn't take him long to realize what had happened, and was able to hustle into second. A nice play for him. That's a good way to spark some energy into a club with 2 out.
Hunter Bishop had that throw basically beat from Stinson. And then just a little bit of a miscue there from Stinson to Passatempa, as the first pitch from Stinson misses below the knees to Justin Coons. Counts now 1-0. Brewster's up 3-0 on the Orleans Firebirds in the bottom of the third inning. 2 outs and runner on second. Hunter Bishop going to third, and he'll get in there standing up on that play. It was a called strike there to Justin Coons, but now the fourth run of this game, 90 feet away for the Brewster Whitecaps.
And 2 stolen bases today for Hunter Bishop. He is having a great day base running so far.
Hunter Bishop has got on twice today. Justin Coons struck out in his last at-bat, as he'll swing and miss at the next one. Counts now 1-2. A nice stop there from Austin Hale.
And they did score that in E1 that allowed Bishop to get to second. So it's on Stinson.
Counts 1-2 on Justin Coons. Here comes the pitch. This one misses inside and stopped by Hale. And we'll just kind of roll up the third baseline, so Hunter Bishop does not go, as that one was right in front of him. Counts now 2-2. Justin Coons taps his bat on the base and gets ready for the 2-2 from Stinson. Hunter Bishop 90 feet away over at third. Here comes the 2-2. A swing and a miss from Justin Coons, who strikes out for the second time today. And Hunter Bishop will be left stranded at third. The Brewster Whitecaps get 1 hit in the bottom of the third, do not score any runs, and leave 1 runner on in Hunter Bishop. The score is still Brewster 3, Orleans nothing. We're through 3 innings of play. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube.
Coming into today's game, the Brewster Whitecaps ranked 8th in the Cape League in saves with just 7, but that really doesn't tell the whole story, because let me tell you, they had one earlier today. Pitchers Tony Losey, who actually started this game today, Joe Mulletier, and Ryan Sear, on the way to the ballpark today, ran into a family that was visiting the Cape from France who had had a flat tire just down the street here in Brewster. All 3 of them stopped. They got out of the car, helped the family fix the flat tire. I actually received some help from the Brewster Police Department as well before coming to the ballpark today. After the game, the Officer Eldridge of the Brewster Police Department came to the game, gave them all a ceremonial Brewster Police Department patch to show their appreciation, and then Tony obviously went out and threw 2 perfect innings. So yes, they have 7 saves, but hey, they're picking up saves off the field as well. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Aiden. We're starting the 4th inning here at Stony Brook Field. The Whitecaps ahead 3-0 on the Orleans Firebirds, and it's the top of the Orleans order. Brewster pitching has faced the minimum so far as Demir starts off his 2nd inning of work. The pitch misses outside to the righty hitter Jimmy Herron. Herron flew out to right field his first time up to begin the ball game. One of the peskier hitters that you're going to find anywhere on the Cape Cod League. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's hit hard into center field. Coming in a bit is Hunter Bishop, now moving to his right, and he will make the play. For out number 1, Hunter Bishop has shown off his range a couple of times in this ball game. That time didn't have to mosey too far over and made the grab. So Herron is 0-for-2 with a couple of balls to the outfield to start off his day. And there's 1 gone here in the top of the 4th.
Well, Jimmy Herron kind of forced a conversation between this Brewster Whitecaps team, as Jamie Shevchik, before they played Orleans, called a meeting and talked about base runners. And so it's big that Brewster has gotten him out twice today, as he has a lot of speed on the base pass for Orleans.
Here is Ethan Paul. The pitch is a slow number toward the right side. Moving to his right is the first baseman, Datris. He underhands it to Demers, who steps on the bag for out number 2. Kyle Datris, his first day at first base since anybody can remember, has so far looked pretty good. Flash him leather over there, able to underhand that baseball over. So a very quick 2 outs here for Joe Demers in the top of the 4th inning. That goes in the book as a 3-1, and now it's the number 3 hitter for the Firebirds, Nico Decolotti, digging in. The man from Loyola Marymount, one of the pleasant surprises for Kelly Nicholson on his team, another one of those all-stars. He grounded out to third base his first time up. Here comes the first pitch. It misses up high, so they count 1 ball and no strikes. This is what, as it looks like Decolotti's going to get a bit of guidance here from Kelly Nicholson, perhaps, as he's walking over to the on-deck circle where Steven Scott is standing. In any case, he's getting some words of advice or whatever it may be. This is what Jamie Shevchik likes to call a scripted game in how he's going to be handling his pitchers today. We saw Tony Losi throw 2 perfect innings and then get yanked for Demers. Losi didn't walk anybody, obviously, and struck out a pair. Demers came on in the 3rd inning, gave up a walk, and then that was canceled out by a double play. So still no hits on the board for the Firebirds. On the other side, Brewster's had a great day offensively so far. They took a 1-0 lead on a ribby single by Malfetta, though he was tagged out, stretching it into a double. And then an RBI single from Gehagen and a ribby infield single by Nick Dunn, which extended his hitting streak to 17 games. Or a couple more runs in the 2nd inning, and that's where we stand, 3-0. Here's the pitch, and it is in there for a called strike just on the outer edge to Nico Decolotti. Decolotti originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, graduate of Cimarron Memorial High School. 1-1 pitch, misses outside. And we count 2 balls and 1 strike now on the man from Loyola Marymount. Decolotti digging in. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's hit hard on the ground. The shortstop Smith moves to his left but can't get to it, and it rolls into center field for a base hit. Decolotti takes a wide turnover there at first, but nothing more. That's the first hit of the game for the Orleans Firebirds, as Decolotti is aboard with 2 men out. Decolotti does have some speed to him. 2 out of 3 stealing bases so far this year on the Cape, was 12 out of 16 this spring. Stealing bases for LMU as Steven Scott digs in, but it's worth noting Justin Coons, the catcher for the Whitecaps, has a terrific arm behind the plate. 9 out of 20 throwing runners out so far this season. It was 1 out of 2 the last time he suited up for Brewster a couple of games ago here against the Red Sox. Here's the pitch to Scott. Just misses outside. 1-0 the count. Joe Demers didn't seem to especially care for that call from Al Liberdoni. Kind of gave him a look and stood still for a moment. But now we'll head back to work. Runner on first base, 2 men out. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Cut on and missed. I'm sure for Joe Demers, that's kind of the cure for when you're not happy with an umpire's strike zone. Just run him in, Shane Speeds, and get the swing and miss. Umpire doesn't have any say at all. 1-1 is the count on Steven Scott, who struck out his first time. Looked at a Tony Losi fastball for strike 3. They whip it over to first base, and Datris knocks down the baseball, but is unable to fully get that into his glove. That's another consideration here. Obviously, Kyle Datris, a third baseman by trade. He's suiting up, grabbing the first baseman's mitt for this ball game for the first time in forever. So that's one more thing to consider, as Nico Decolotti's taking a pretty aggressive lead out there right now at first. 1-1 the count. And here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Joe Demers fooling Steven Scott with the speed both times for the 2 strikes in this at-bat. Scott, a Vanderbilt Commodore. Unlike a lot of the folks on the Cape, as Joe Demers will hold the set with the count 1-2. And here comes the offering runner going for second base. The pitch is a high pop fly behind the plate. Coons will take the mask off and give it a look, but it heads out of play behind home plate, so the count's still 1-2. Unlike a lot of the folks on the Cape, Steven Scott was not destined for greatness as a high schooler. He said he didn't even really think that he could play college ball until the summer before his junior year of high school. And now is at a powerhouse program in Vanderbilt, the school that both of his parents went to. is an econ major there. 1-2 the count on Scott. Demers gets the sign that he likes from Coons and now holds the set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's fouled away toward the left side, and the count still 1-2. Don't know if you can see. You can see it on the camera angle we've got, or on the center field camera that we have for Lower Cape TV. The design out there in the outfield today looks a little bit different than it does typically way out there in the outfield. And Ryan Smythe, the hitting coach and the third base coach for Brewster, got the credit for that. Got a nice shout out from Jim Nowak, the PA announcer here at Stony Brook Field. 1-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Runner going for second. Pitch is in there for a called strike 3 to retire the side. Justin Coons caught that one a little bit awkwardly there, lost the mask, but despite all that, Al Liberdoni said it caught the inside corner, so Joe Demers works a clean fourth inning, gives up just the one hit, no runs allowed in the frame, and one runner left on for Orleans. This is Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV channel 99 and streaming live on YouTube. It's 3-0 Whitecaps at the end of 3.5. The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake, a proud member of leading hotels of the world. We welcome you back to Stony Brook Field. Carter Wood Eagle and Morris Sheridan here with you on Lower Cape TV channel 99. As you can see, the Whitecaps are ahead 3-0. On our graphic there, want to give a huge thank you to Rafal Kowalczyk and everybody else at Lower Cape TV for getting those graphics ready to go for us today. They are gorgeous. Whitecaps are going to face a new pitcher here, one they've seen before. It's Taylor Sugg from University of North Carolina that's getting the call from Kelly Nicholson. Graham Stinson went 1 inning, 1 hit allowed, did strike out 2. No runs or walks allowed for Stinson. He just goes the 3 outs. The numbers so far this year for Taylor Sugg, he's got a 5.47 ERA. This is appearance number 11 on the season for him. He has made 4 starts, including one against the Whitecaps. It was on July 20th. He went 3 innings, gave up 5 runs in a game that the Firebirds came back to win 8-6. As you mentioned, the Whitecaps have not been able to figure this Firebirds team out. Only 1 win against them this season does Brewster have. It was the very first game of the year on opening night at Eldridge Park. Bottom third of the Whitecaps order due up, starting with Darius Hill. And the first pitch to the West Virginia Mountaineer misses down and away. So the count is 1 ball and no strikes on Hill. Hill, his first time up, hit a hard line drive to center field that was gloved by Heron out there. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a high pop fly toward the right side of the infield, now tailing over as the wind pushes it toward the left side, and making the catch is the shortstop Hopi, maybe a couple steps to the left of the second base bag. So 1 man out here on a high pop fly. Interesting how Hill really hit it right on the screws in his first at-bat and sent it straight out to dead center, and that time just got right under it. First out of the bottom of the 4th. And now it's Zach Gahagan's turn. Gahagan, his first time up, had an RBI single, which is good news for the Tar Heel, who've been struggling a little bit this year. Here comes the pitch, and it misses low. So 1-0 the count. Tar Heel versus Tar Heel here. We see a lot of that. So many UNC products here on the Cape. Feels like the league is crawling with them. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It misses low once more. So the count is 2 balls and no strikes. I mentioned Gahagan was struggling coming in, had a 178 average entering this game. Matt Ribby doubled his total, now has 2 on the year. 2-0 pitch. Checked his swing. Will they appeal? They will, and he did not go, says Jeff Kinney, the first base umpire. So the count early now 3-0 on Zach Gahagan, doing a good job of laying pitches off. And here comes a 3-0 pitch. Skips low for ball 4. Not a lot to hit there for Zach Gahagan, as Taylor Sugg just couldn't find the strike zone. So the Tar Heel works a walk off of the Tar Heel, and the Whitecaps have their first base runner of this bottom of the 4th inning. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter for Brewster, Connor Smith, digging in from the right side. Austin Hale still the catcher for the Firebirds at the moment. Hale was brought in to be the battery mate of his Stetson teammate Logan Gilbert, who was the starter for the Firebirds in this ball game. Went 2 innings, gave up 3 runs. The pitch to Smith misses just a bit inside. So it's 1-0 now on the man from Western Michigan, who singled his first time up. Gahagan is on first with 1 man out. And we're waiting on the 1-0 pitch. Here it comes from Sugg. In there for a called strike. Dropped that one in there. On an off-speed pitch did Sugg. Sugg's originally from Greensboro, North Carolina, out of Southern Guilford High School. Here comes the 1-1 offering. Breaking ball lifted into foul territory right side. The first baseman Passatempo is over there, and he makes a nice over-the-shoulder grab for out number 2. A terrific play from Steve Passatempo, the first baseman, ranging into foul territory to glove that baseball over his shoulder. Had to deal with the sun, had to deal with moving from the grass to the warning track. He did it all, and so a couple of pop flies over 2 outs for Brewster in this bottom of the 4th, and now it's back to the top of the order and Nick Dunn. Nick Dunn, the leadoff hitter and the designated hitter for Brewster in this ball game, was the second baseman back on Sunday, the last time the Whitecaps took the field against YD in that 5-1 win. Had a home run in the 9th inning. Here comes the pitch. It's in there for a called strike on the inside corner to make the count 0-1. If you're just joining us and wondering about the streak, Nick Dunn did keep it going with a RBI infield hit in the 2nd inning, so he's now hit safely in 17 straight ball games for the Whitecaps. 0-1 pitch, runner going for second. The pitch is hit hard down the line. Right field's going to land in fair territory for a base hit. Gahagan's motoring around third. He's being waved home by Ryan Smythe. Still hustling in. The throw comes in from the cutoff man, and Gahagan is out at the plate. And that retires the side. Zach Gahagan did his best with a head-first slide. Gives a look back over to Ryan Smythe, the third base coach. That was a terrific throw from the right fielder, Reilly, to nab Gahagan at home plate, and that finishes things in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Brewster fails to score in this frame. They get 1 hit, and they leave 1 runner on. At the end of 4 innings of play, it's 3-0 Brewster. This is Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on Lower Cape TV Channel 99 and streaming live on YouTube. We welcome you back to Brewster. Another gorgeous day here at Stony Brook Field, and the Whitecaps are still on top 3-0. So I play at the plate in the bottom of the fourth. One of the more exciting plays you're going to find in baseball. Zachy Hagan was tagged out, so the Whitecaps prevented from extending their lead. Anyway, here's Kevin Stroshine. He hits the first pitch from Joe Molatier, the new Whitecaps hurler, out to right field, and Chandler Taylor takes care of it for out number one. You heard that right. Molatier is in the game. The Whitecaps are swapping a Joe for a Joe as Joe Demers pitched the third and fourth innings for Brewster, and now Molatier is out for the fifth. Demers did well, 2 clean frames, just 1 hit and 1 walk allowed, did strike out a batter, and no runs surrendered, of course. Stroshine is now 0 for 2 on the game, and now it's Austin Hale's turn in the batting order. And the first pitch misses. No, it's in there for a called strike, on the outer edge to the Firebirds catcher today. Hale hit a ground ball to shortstop off of Tony Losi his first time up. Molatier is ready. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Misses down and away to make the count 1 ball and 1 strike. The numbers so far on Molatier, he's thrown 33 innings, which is second on the team behind Tony Losi coming into this appearance. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's outside to make the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Rumor has it he'll be going 3 today for Jamie Shevchik's club. He's got a 4.63 ERA for the Whitecaps, does Molatier, giving up 39 hits in those 33 frames. He's walked 14 and struck out 20. Here comes the 2-1 offering. It's lifted out to right field, but toward foul ground, and will get out of play. So the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the thing with Molatier is he can sometimes lose command of his fastball just a little bit. We've seen spells where he hasn't been able to find the strike zone, but when he can command it and change speeds, he's done very well for the Whitecaps. 2-2 pitch, just waves at that, and they're going to say he didn't quite go around, so it's full, 3-2 on Austin Hale. Hale, as I mentioned, is Stetson Hatter out of the Atlantic Sun, a program on the rise there at Stetson. 3-2 pitch, misses low for ball 4. So Molatier surrenders the walk. That is kind of his Achilles heel for the Whitecaps. And Hale is aboard. That'll bring up Reilly. Hale, of course, the catcher on this Firebird team. There are a lot of players that can run on Kelly Nicholson's club, but Hale, not the fastest guy you're going to find. And speaking of which, that looks like there's going to be a pinch runner out there for. No, it's going to be. Nobody's going to stay out there at first base. That's my bad. Here is Brandon Reilly hitting from the left side. And he takes his first pitch below the knees. Reilly is 0 for 1. He was the first batter that Joe Demers faced. Demers was able to induce a fly ball to left field his first time up. 1-0 pitch on the way. It's fouled away toward the left side. And so the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. I was wondering about the pinch runner. Lars Nootbaar is out there for Orleans, but he's coaching first base. I thought he was coming out to run, but he's out there as a first base coach. Was talking to the Orleans broadcasters before the game about how they've had a few different players go out there in the last few games. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Half swing at a pitch that was low. He did go around, says Al Liberdoni, and a hearty nod from Justin Coons behind the plate. He liked that pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Brandon Reilly. With Hale aboard first base, Whitecaps looking to protect this 3-0 lead. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It misses outside. So 2-2 the count. That also looked like it was a little bit up above the letters to Reilly. Reilly, a rising junior out of Burlington, North Carolina, another UNC Tar Heel. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's hit on the ground to second base. Scooping it up as a second baseman, Malfetta flips your second for 1 on to first. Not in time. Safe at first base. Brandon Reilly just beat that out. A couple of words of dissent from the Whitecaps fans that weren't fans of the call. Was very close out there, but it looked like he just got in ahead of the throw, did Brandon Reilly. So Hale is cut out of the equation for the second out, and Reilly is now aboard first base. And now it's Steve Passatempo's turn. A River Hawk at UMass Lowell. One of the neater mascots you're going to find. A lot of different varieties of hawks that you can find in the NCAA. I know Lehigh University is the Mountain Hawks. Here comes the pitch. It's fouled away behind the plate. So it's 0-1. Passatempo walked his first time up and was canceled out in a double play. Part of a couple clean innings from Joe Demers. This is the first time that 2 batters have reached base for Orleans in an inning so far in this ball game. 0-1 pitch coming. Misses down and away. Kuntz got up and glared at the runner at first, but nothing more. So the count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Steve Passatempo. Passatempo out of Medford, Massachusetts originally, as you mentioned, Mora. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's fouled back to the screen. And the scouting report on him is that he likes high fastballs, does Steve Passatempo. So for a guy like Joe Molitier that has had a couple of issues with his fastball command, that could be a reason for Passatempo to be licking his lips a little bit at the plate. But Moletier's a guy who likes to keep the fastball down and get baseballs on the ground. 1-2 is the count. Kuntz setting up outside here. The pitch. Breaking ball hit high in the air towards shallow right field. Taylor is shielding his eyes from the sun as he comes in, and it's called off by Malfetta, the second baseman, who gloves it for out number 3. Another kind of strange play for Chandler Taylor. The sun field in right field is in full force today here at 5:20 p.m. on the East Coast with the sun coming down. The Whitecaps put up a 0 here in the top of the 5th. No hits allowed either in this frame. 1 runner left on for the Firebirds. At the end of 4.5, we're halfway through a regulation game here at Stony Brook Field, and the home team is up 3-0 Brewster. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV channel 99 and streaming live on YouTube. Back at Stony Brook Field, first pitch to Kyle Datris is hit high in the air to left field. Moving back as a left fielder, turning, looking, and that baseball is out of here. A solo home run for Kyle Datris on the first pitch of the bottom of the 5th. And the Whitecaps extend their lead to 4-0 just like that.
Well, that's Kyle Datris' first home run this year for the Brewster Whitecaps. A bit of an odd day for him. He's over at first for the Whitecaps today, and he gets a home run. So good day for Kyle Datris, and that one was pretty much long gone.
He's 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored on the homer. Maybe you should ask Jamie Shevchik to play at first more often. It looks like it's good luck for him. Brewster's ahead 4-0 now in the bottom of the 5th inning on that no doubt about it home run. And here's Chandler Taylor, a man who's no stranger to no doubt about it homers. The pitch to him misses low, and the count is 1-0. We do have some defensive changes to make you aware of here for the Firebirds. Jax Groshans is now behind the plate for Orleans. The pitch is in there for a called strike at the knees to Taylor, so the count is 1-1. There's also a new third baseman, as Brennan Shearer has moved over to third base in the place of Nico Decolotti. The pitch is cut on and missed. So 1-2 now the count on Chandler Taylor. And Decolotti, the third baseman, is now over at shortstop for the Firebirds. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. The ball gets away from the catcher, throwing down to first base, and it will be not in time. So Chandler Taylor advances on the dropped third strike. First time he has reached base so far in this ball game. That's the first strikeout for Sugg, who's in his second inning of work for Orleans. And Taylor is able to advance. It got past the catcher Groshans.
Well, that's the second dropped third strike we've seen on Chandler Taylor today. Wasn't able to beat out the first one and then just was successful on the second one he saw today.
So Malfetta digging in from the right side for the Brewster Whitecaps, with Taylor, who cannot be ignored with his speed, aboard first base. Here comes the pitch. It's hit hard to right field. That's a base hit. Chandler Taylor heading into second. He'll stop right there. That was hit a little too hard from Christian Malfetta, but another hard hit single for the man from Stanford, who really has been heating up as of late for the Whitecaps with his increased playing time. He's now 2 for 3 with that RBI in the first inning, and the Whitecaps are knocking out the door again with second and first, and no one out.
Yeah, Christian Malfetta had an RBI in the game against Bourne and then added another one when he was here at YD. So you're right, he has been heating up, and this is a guy that's played a role on this team, but you could see it get bigger if he continues to play like this. I'm sure Jamie Shevchik's happy to see guys like Malfetta kind of stepping up here.
So here is Hunter Bishop. Scott will deal the first pitch. And it's in there for a strike. So 0-1 the count on Bishop. Bishop so far today has reached base twice. He walked in the second inning and then later stole second, and he came around to score and then reached on a gutsy bunt single in the third. Stole third base in that inning, but failed to come around. 0-1 coming. He shows bunt again, but takes it back and takes the pitch low. So the count 1 ball and 1 strike on Bishop. Looks like we're going to see a lot of different pitchers in this ball game. Sugg does have the ability to go long, but Gilbert was on a pitch count today, starting things off for Orleans. Then Graham Stinson threw an inning. And for Brewster, they've already got the inning scripted out like it's a spring training game. 1-1 pitch, shows bunt again, and he did get a piece of that baseball before it went into the glove of Groshans. So that's a foul tip for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on the Arizona State Sun Devil. Chandler Taylor, as you mentioned, does have speed over at second base. 8 out of 12 stealing bases on McCabe this year. So a hard hit single would most likely bring him in. 1-2 pitch is a ground ball left side. Backing up as the third baseman Shearer. He throws to second for 1 over to first base. It won't be in time. Would have been a terrific double play as Shearer had to move back a couple of steps to field that baseball. Kind of a tricky play to gauge. Does get the out at second. Taylor moves to third. And it's first and third for the Whitecaps with 1 man out. And for Brewster, Malfetta's the one that gets cut out of the equation. Now you have 2 speedy runners aboard, with Taylor on third base and Bishop on first, with Coons at the plate. And we saw earlier a call for a pitch out with Austin Hale behind the plate. Now Austin Hale calls his own pitches. He's done that at Stetson, and he's done that here with the Firebirds as well. And that was another time where there was a speedy runner on first and third. Didn't want a bluff steal sort of situation. The pitch to Coons misses down and away. Count is 1-0. That's all a long-winded way of saying that the Firebirds are aware of the speed on the base paths. Bishop is taking a pretty aggressive lead at first base and is being held on by Passatempo. 1-0 the count on Justin Coons, who is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Runners going for second. The pitch is hit hard, and it's going to be a base hit into left field. Chandler Taylor will score easily from third. Justin Coons gets his 8th RBI of the season on a hard hit single. The Whitecaps are really clicking in this 5th inning. It's now 5-0 Brewster.
That was a hard hit single, and this has been a game where some of the guys on this team that have been struggling as of late, like Zach Hagan, Justin Coons, a great defensive catcher, but sometimes struggles offensively, and guys like Christian Malfetta also are really stepping up in this game, which is a good sign for Jamie Shevchik moving into playoffs, knowing that, they're not probably going to be starting players, but if need be, they can go into the game and produce for Brewster.
Yeah, Justin Coons really was having trouble getting on base for the Whitecaps, struggling with his strikeouts. As it looks like we're going to see Darius Hill dig in for the Whitecaps as expected. That was the first hit for Justin Coons since he doubled in the second inning of the game back on July 25th against Katuitt here at Stony Brook Field. It's been that long since Coons had gotten a base hit. He's got a smile on his face on first base now. First and second, 1 man out. And Hill, who is 0 for 2, digging in. The pitch in there for a called strike on the outer edge. So says Al Liberdoni. And with that base hit from Coons, Hale is now the only player on the team for Brewster that has yet to reach base in this game. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, so 1 ball and 1 strike now on Hale. Hale had a hard line drive to center that Heron gloved for his first out of the game, and then hit a high pop fly his previous time up in the 4th. Just 1 man out here in this frame. 1-1. Hit hard to center field. Heron comes in a couple of steps and makes the catch. And Hunter Bishop's going to get doubled off at second base. Hunter Bishop saw that baseball. He thought it was a clear base hit and made a base running mistake out there. He was standing on third, knew he had no time to go in, so they double him off easily at second, and that retires the side in the bottom of the 5th. But the Whitecaps do get 2 runs on the frame, including a solo shot from Kyle Datris to start the inning off, and the ribby single from Justin Coons. They get 3 hits in the inning. They have a drop third strike as well, and they leave 1 runner on base. At the end of 5, it's 5-0 Brewster. This is Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on Lower Cape TV Channel 99 and streaming live on YouTube. Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Back at Stony Brook Field, we're starting the 6th inning of play, and a little bit of a deviation from the script that Jamie Shevchik had drawn out. Joe Molatier has left this ballgame after just 1 inning of work and has been relieved by Zach Schneider. Molatier did not give up a hit in that frame, did walk a batter in the inning. No strikeouts or runs allowed for him to complete off his line. And he gives way to Schneider, who will face Shearer, who will lead things off. The pitch misses inside. This is the first at-bat of the ball game for Shearer. He came in as a defensive replacement in the bottom of the 5th inning. Took over at third for Decolotti, who moved over to short to remove Hopi, and so Shearer is in for Hopi in the batting order at the 9 spot. The 1-0 pitch is a high chopper, right side. It will kick foul on the first base side before Datris could glove it. Looked like that one just knocked off of the lip of the infield grass there inside the foul line. That was what gave it so much kick into foul territory. The Whitecaps ahead, as you can see, by a score of 5-0. Got 2 more runs at the bottom of that 5th inning. A solo home run from Kyle Datris brought in the first. And then an RBI single from Justin Coons, his first hit in a long while, drove in the second. Schneider staring in. It'll be a 1-1 to Shearer. Pitch. He's in there for a called strike. Schneider, one of the newer Whitecaps, made his debut in Wareham a few days back in that appearance, which is the only one that he has so far as a Whitecap through 2 innings. No hits allowed, did walk 2, no Ks. 1-2 pitch is hit hard right field. Taylor coming in, makes the catch on a hard line drive off the bat of Shearer. So Schneider gets his first out here in the top of inning number 6. There's one gone, and it's back to the top of the order and the pesky Jimmy Herron. Schneider, you may notice when you're watching, when we've got our cameras on him, he's got a very unusual way that he comes set. Made itself known when he was in Wareham as well, when he threw that scoreless appearance in his Whitecaps debut. Waggles the glove, as you see there, and then comes set. The pitch is outside to make the count 1-0, and he does that regardless of whether there are runners on base. It's clearly here that the bases are empty with one man out. Molitier was originally penciled in for 3 innings in this ball game, but pulled after just 1 by Jamie Shevchik. 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Count 1-1. That's baseball for you. Even when you're not too into the way that whether you win the game or not, and you write up a script, sometimes you have to go off script from time to time, which Jamie Shevchik did. 1-1 is the count. Righty to righty here with Herron. Pitch. Runs up and hits him. That one hit him right on the leg, it looked like. The outer leg of Herron, a breaking ball that just kind of slipped out of the hand of Schneider. So Herron reaches base for the first time in this ball game on the hit by pitch, and now it's a runner on for Ethan Paul.
Well, as you mentioned, this is the first time that Jimmy Herron has been on in this game, and it's against a guy in Zach Schneider who's never faced Jimmy Herron, and his speed on the base paths. I know Jamie Shevchik talked to his team specifically about Herron and how this guy runs. Jamie Shevchik worried a little bit as Schneider has yet to look at Herron.
The pitch to Paul is in there for a called strike on the outer edge. So the count's 0-1 on Ethan Paul. He too is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground ball to his name for Ethan Paul. Facing Schneider, the man who will be headed to FAU this coming academic year. 1-0-1 pitch in there for another called strike on the outer edge to make the count 0-2. It does appear that Al Liberdoni, the home plate ump, has been pretty generous with that outside corner to lefty batters and the inside corner to righties, but has been pretty consistent with it. Runner on first base. Schneider shakes off a couple of signs from Coons, but now gets the one that he likes, and here comes the pitch. And that one misses. 1-2 the count. Breaking ball. Look right around the same spot as those fastballs earlier. 1-2 is the count on Ethan Paul. Firebirds trying to just slam the door on the season series with this Whitecaps team. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's hit high in the air to right field. Moving back is Chandler Taylor, heading back toward the corner. That one is going to be over the wall for a home run. A 2-run home run for Ethan Paul. That's number 4 for him on the season. That was just a sky-high fly ball that carried out just enough. And the Firebirds are within striking distance now. It's 5-2 Brewster.
Well, you can tell Chandler Taylor was a little bit upset with himself, as it seemed like he thought he could have maybe had that, but that one, as you mentioned, just hung up there for so long. I think Taylor just thought he was going to be able to get it right before it went over, but just over his glove. But regardless, as you mentioned, this is now a 3-run game, and we know this Orleans Firebirds team has some offensive power.
It showed itself the last time they came to Stony Brook Field. Had to come from behind, 8-6 win. Decolotti digging in now for the Birds, and he takes a strike on the outer edge to make the count 0-1. Those were RBIs number 15 and 16 for Ethan Paul on the season. Has had a terrific year for the Firebirds, like a lot of their hitters have. I mean, this has been an excellent season for Kelly Nicholson's club. 1-1. No, it's going to be 0-2 after the pitch drops in. Nice lateral movement on that offering there from Schneider. No balls, 2 strikes the count on Nico Decolotti, who is 1 for 2. Singled his last time up. 0-2 pitch, hit hard left side. It gets past the third baseman Gehagen and into left field for a base hit. So 3 straight runners reaching base in this 6th frame for Orleans And Decolotti is aboard for the second time in as many at-bats. And now the man they call Scotty will dig in, Steven Scott, who is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts in this ball game. He's trying to avoid the hat trick. Decolotti aboard first base, 2 out of 3 stealing bases this season for the Firebirds. Nobody warming in the pen. Mrs. Schneider's inning for Brewster. Here comes the pitch. It misses low. The count 1 ball and no strikes. So far, we have not seen an Orleans base runner threaten Justin Coons, though to be fair, they haven't had too many opportunities. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the offering from Schneider. It's lifted into center field. Bishop will take a couple of steps back, but it's right where he is. He makes the catch for out number 2. Hardly had to move a muscle, did the Brewster center fielder. So there are 2 away here in the 6th. That was an out that Schneider needed, to get the feeling. And now Kevin Stroheim will dig in for the Firebirds, trying to keep the inning going. Stroheim so far today has 2 fly balls to his credit. One was gloved by Bishop right behind Chandler Taylor in right center field on a strange little play, and then one out to straightaway right for Taylor. Stroheim out of Tennessee Tech. Runner's going for second base. Pitch swung on a miss. The throw down to second is not in time. He's safe at second.
Yeah, Justin Coons just threw that one a little bit outside the reach of Christian Molfetta at second. It was a nice throw, kind of on target, but Molfetta just had to move a little bit to his left and was unable to get the runner out.
So that is Decolotti's 3rd stolen base of the year. Runner on second, 2 men out now. The pitch. Swung on and just got a piece. Fouls it back behind the plate. Does Kevin Stroheim. Stroheim originally from McDonough, Georgia. As I mentioned, going to Tennessee Tech, played 62 games for TTU this past spring. Hit .292 in those ball games with 14 home runs and 60 runs batted in, making the most of all that playing time. 0-2 pitch coming, and it's outside. So 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count on Kevin Stroheim, who came into this game with a .308 on base percentage on the Cape. Schneider shakes off one sign from Coons, now gives the nod. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That, too, misses outside. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a runner on second base, 2 runs already in for the Firebirds in this 6th frame. On the 2-run blast from Ethan Paul, cutting a 5-0 lead into a 5-2 deficit. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. In there, called strike 3, outside corner, and that ends the frame. Stroheim goes down looking. Paul gets the 2-run homer for the 2 runs in the inning for Orleans. They get 2 runs on 2 hits and leave 1 runner on. No errors in the frame for Brewster at the end of 5.5 innings of play. The Whitecaps lead 5-2. This is Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV Channel 99 and streaming live on YouTube. Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports like football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams, all online at curry.edu. Zach Gehagen leads off the bottom of the sixth inning for Brewster. Whitecaps protecting a 5-2 lead. A two-run home run from Ethan Paul turned that 5-0 Brewster lead into the 5-2 advantage that they have now. Gehagen's had a good day. Reached base both times. Pitch to the man from UNC is in there for a called strike from Taylor Sugg, his Carolina teammate, to make the count 0-1. Gehagen started his day with an RBI single in the second inning and then worked a walk in the fourth, was tagged out at the plate to end that fourth inning. Here comes the 0-1. That, too, is called a strike on the outside corner to make the count 0-2. It does appear to be a wide zone from Al Liberdoni behind the plate in this ball game. Gehagen will take a second to reset with the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Sugg is out for his third inning of work here for the Firebirds. 0-2 pitch misses down and away. And count is 1-2. 2 blemishes on the scorecard for him. A solo home run off the bat of Kyle Datris, and then a ribby single from Coons were the 2 runs that Sugg has surrendered in this game. 1-2 pitch is a high chopper foul left side. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gehagen protecting the plate, and you have to think with a big strike zone like the one we're seeing from Al Liberdoni, it gives you a little bit more of an incentive to go out and chase pitches, especially when you're behind in the count. Waiting on a 1-2 pitch to Zach Gehagen, and here it comes. Misses up high above the letters, so the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors for Orleans. 5 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for Brewster, something that Jamie Shevchik is surely happy about. 2-2 pitch is a ground ball foul right side. Jamie Shevchik has talked to us a lot about how clean defense correlates with victories for the Whitecaps. Entering this game, they had 13 games this season where they hadn't committed an error. They were 8-5 in those games. And in all the other games where they did commit an error, they were 11-15-2. So definitely a correlation there. Jamie Shevchik, Tommy Weber, the rest of the staff have been preaching clean defense forever. 2-2 pitch misses inside. Gehagen moving his rear end out of the way. So that brings the count full on the utility player at third base today. Gehagen at third and Datris at first for the Whitecaps. If you weren't with us at the first part of this ball game, Coach Shevchik says he's just trying to give Gehagen some reps at a non-first base position. 3-2 pitch. This is outside for ball 4, so Zach Gehagen draws his second straight walk and reaches base for the 3rd time today. One of the better games at the plate we've seen all year from him. And now Connor Smith will dig in for the Whitecaps. Smith singled in the 2nd and hit a pop fly in the 4th, so he's 1-for-2 on the day. The man from Western Michigan. Another leadoff walk for Brewster. We saw one in the 2nd inning when Hunter Bishop got the free pass. He did come around to score in what was a 2-run frame for the Whitecaps. Here comes the pitch to Smith. Misses up high, so count 1 ball and no strikes on Connor Smith. Just 2 more games on the schedule for both of these teams. They're both home and homes. Brewster is going to go to Harwich tomorrow for a game at 6:30, and then they're back here to play the Mariners in 2 days' time. Smith fouls off the 1-0 pitch, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Orleans is going to Chatham for their home and home. They finished the season at Chatham. Tomorrow they're at Eldridge Park to play the Anglers. And for Brewster, that's not insignificant because the Whitecaps are currently in a drag race for 3rd place in the standings. They're dead even points-wise with Chatham right now. And a runner going for second base. 1-1 pitch, misses outside, thrown out to second base, gets away, and gets into center field. Staying at second, though, is Gehagen, but he gets a stolen base. That's the second he's gotten this year in 2 tries for the Whitecaps, and Brewster's got a runner in scoring position now. Count is 2-1 now on Connor Smith. I'm sure Brewster will be keeping an eye on the Chatham Anglers. They are playing YD later on tonight. That game's going to start at 7, so it probably will be finishing right as this game comes to a close, or starting right as this game comes to an end. Tough end of the schedule for Chatham this year. 2-1 pitch is hit hard into center field, but Heron is going to be right there, takes a couple of steps back, and makes the play for the first out. That's another hard line drive that's just been whacked right to Jimmy Heron. He's a terrific defensive outfielder, but hasn't really been tested. He's just seen a lot of baseballs go straight out to him in center so far, including one off the bat of Darius Hill, one off the bat of Smith there. Now it's Nick Dunn digging in for a fourth time for Brewster. There is a bit of a breeze here now at Stony Brook Field. When we were starting this game, that big old flag out in center, which you can see on Lower Cape TV just to the right of dead center field, was really just hanging limp. No wind at all to speak of, and now there is some of that customary breeze heading out toward left center, which is what we have seen the most of here at Stony Brook Field. And we're going to have a meeting on the mound as Jamie Quinn, the Orleans pitching coach, is going to head out and talk to Taylor Sugg. Does look like there is a right-hander warming in the Orleans Firebirds bullpen. It looks like that is J.T. Hinson warming for Orleans out there, if the binoculars do not deceive me. Runner on second base and one out for the Whitecaps. Nick Dunn has had a terrific day at the plate once again. Now hit straight in 17 straight games. He had an infield single to bring in a run in the second inning, and then a hard hit single in the fourth. That was scored a single. That was where Gahagan was tagged out at home plate. Very similar spot to the one we're in right now, here in the sixth inning. First pitch to Dunn misses outside, so the count 1 ball and no strikes on Nick Dunn. Started this game with a .339 average, and it just continues to tick up and up and up. It's now up to .347 on the season. 1-0 pitch coming. It's hit hard to left field. Coming in is the left fielder Scott, and he makes the catch on the run. A nice play from Scott out in left to come in and make that catch. Maybe was right at belt level when he gloved that baseball. And so a couple of hard hit balls for the 2 outs in this frame, but there are 2 gone. Kyle Datras will dig in now for the Whitecaps. Fresh off of his solo home run in the 5th inning, took the first pitch that he saw in that at-bat from Taylor Sugg over the left center field wall. Wasn't very much doubt as to where that baseball was going as soon as he whacked it. First pitch coming, here it is. Breaking ball that misses low. That was a nice bender from Taylor Sugg. Good job by Kyle Datras to lay off that pitch. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. That home run was the 8th ribby of the season for Datras and the first round tripper for him. 1-0 pitch coming. It misses up and away to make the count 2 balls and no strikes. Datras, of course, the second Whitecap infielder in as many games to have his maiden homer. We saw Nick Dunn go yard at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth the last time Whitecap suited up on Sunday in the 9th inning of that game. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Hit hard on the ground to third base, and it's bobbled by the third baseman Shearer, and it's going to be well, we'll see how they score it, but reaching first base safely is Kyle Datras. That was a tricky hop there for Shearer, was trying to field it on one hop against his body and couldn't, and the shortstop, Decolotti, did an excellent job of backing that baseball up, preventing it from bounding over into left field and possibly allowing Gahagan to come in and score. In any case, they are going to score that in E5. That moves Gahagan to third and Datras to first with 2 men out. And now Chandler Taylor will dig in for the Whitecaps. Chandler Taylor has a very strange line on his day. He is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a run scored. Reached on a drop third strike his last time up and came around to score on a ribby single from Coons. Pitch to Taylor is hit high in the air to center field. Moving back is Jimmy Heron, now coming in, and he will make the catch as that one just hung up there for him. So the Whitecaps put 3 baseballs in the outfield for the 3 outs in this frame, but failed to bring in a run. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 left for the Whitecaps in the bottom of the inning number 6. It's 5-2 Brewster at the end of 6 innings of play here at Stony Brook Field. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field, everyone. And before today's game, Mickey Gasper, catcher out of Bryant University, was honored with the Cape League's John Claffey Award, which is presented every year to the most outstanding player from New England. Mickey, originally from Merrimack, New Hampshire, plays college ball at Bryant University in Rhode Island, and he's obviously having a great season for the Whitecaps. Was selected as a Cape League All-Star, and he was the obvious recipient of the award. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Aiden, as we just saw the first pitch from Zach Schneider, a called ball. So counts now 1-0 on Jax Groshans, who entered the game for Austin Hale and is behind the plate for the Firebirds. Next pitch, a called strike. Count moves to 1-1 on Jax Groshans. Teammates with Devin Foyle at Kansas, a rising sophomore. Waiting on the 1-1 from Schneider. And that one is foul on the third base side. Counts now 1-2 on Groshans. Groshans batted .237 for the Jayhawks this year. Comes from a very athletic family. His dad played football at Colorado. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And Schneider got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Zach Schneider as Groshans goes down to start this top of the 7th inning. Kevin Stroshine struck out with a pitch on the outside corner to end the 6th inning, as we just saw Jax Groshans go out, swing and a miss there, and now it's Brandon Reilly's turn, a guy who had a little bit of controversy in the last time these two teams played at Stony Brook Field. Not to the fault of Brandon Reilly, as the first pitch is called a strike right up the middle there from Schneider. The question was whether Reilly went around on a pitch, and the home plate ump said he did. Jamie Shevchik and the rest of the Brewster Whitecaps, as the 0-1 is a swing and a miss, a clear go around there from Brandon Reilly, counts now 0-2, and Jamie Shevchik came out and was very unhappy with that call as Brandon Reilly got to take first, and Jamie Shevchik was ejected from that game. Schneider with the 0-2. A swing and a miss, and that is 3 strikeouts in a row for Zach Schneider, really settling in here after he gave up a 2-run homer to Ethan Paul.
He sure is. Those are the first 3 strikeouts that he's gotten on the Cape League this season. And really did a terrific job changing speeds there on Reilly. Was way out in front of that pitch and just kind of hung up there for a while before falling off the table. A terrific put-away pitch there from Schneider.
It's the top of the 7th, and Whitecaps are up 5-2 on the Orleans Firebirds. There is 2 outs in this inning as the first pitch from Schneider misses outside to Steve Passatempo. This is his 3rd at-bat. Walked in the 3rd inning and had a pop fly that Christian Molfetta was able to move back and grab. In the 5th, as he'll wave at the next pitch he sees from Zach Schneider. Counts now 1-1 on Passatempo. As I mentioned, plays at UMass Lowell, and I am told by the Orleans Firebirds he's the team funny guy. Got a lot to say, a talkative guy. Batting .226 on the Cape this year. Schneider holding set. Here comes the 1-1. This one hit to Christian Molfetta at second, who throws it over to Kyle Datris, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for the Brewster Whitecaps. 3 up, 3 down. Zach Schneider kind of settles in here. No hits, no runs, and nobody left on for the Orleans Firebirds. They are still down 5-2 on the Brewster Whitecaps after 6.5 innings of play. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Molfetta, Bishop, and Coons all due up for the Brewster Whitecaps, and they'll face yet another Orleans pitcher. It's going to be JT Hinson on the mound for the Firebirds out of Florida Southern. Has a 2.25 ERA as he gets ready to face Christian Molfetta, who we just saw, with a nice 4-3 play to end the top of the 7th inning. We're in the bottom of the 7th as the first pitch from Hinson misses up hot, or finds a strike zone, counts now 0-1. Molfetta has had a good day for himself, has an RBI and 2 singles to his name, has a breaking ball, misses just inside, counts now 1-1 on Molfetta. Hinson has come in 14 games for the Orleans Firebirds and hasn't started any, so just a relief guy for Nicholson as Molfetta, a high ball over right field, and that one is gloved by Brandon Reilly to retire the first batter that Hinson sees today. Christian Molfetta goes down, and now it's Hunter Bishop's turn.
The line on Taylor Sugg, whom Hinson replaced. He threw 3 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits in those 3 innings, 2 runs, both of them earned, walked 2 and struck out 1.
So Hunter Bishop will come up to bat for the Brewster Whitecaps. He worked a walk in the 2nd inning and was able to get on in the 4th with a nicely placed bunt as he takes the first pitch from Hinson on the inside corner. Counts now 1-0. That one just misses. Bishop also got on in a fielder's choice in the 5th as the 1-0 is fouled straight behind him. Counts now 1-1. And then Bishop was involved in a kind of interesting double play as he was heading to 3rd. And then there was an 8-4 double play as he was already to 3rd. So the Firebirds just had to step on the bag to end that 5th inning. Here comes the 1-1. That one right above the knees, counts now 1-2 on Hunter Bishop. Brewster has no runners on, with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Here comes 1-2. Breaking ball that misses way outside. Nice movement there from Groshans to make that play. Counts now 2-2. Groshans replaced Austin Hale behind the plate. Hale was catching for his Stetson teammate, as this one will just barely clip Hunter Bishop, but seems like it was off the glove of Jax Groshans, so count runs full. Bishop trying to get the first base runner for the Brewster Whitecaps in the bottom of the 7th. Here comes the payoff pitch. This one hit to 2nd. Paul is unable to make the play. Paul made the stop and then couldn't pick the ball up in time, just kind of bobbled it over there at 2nd, and Hunter Bishop will get on the bag safely, and there is indeed a base runner for Justin Coons.
That's the 4th error that Orleans has committed. It's only led to 1 unearned run, but I'm sure that's frustrating for Kelly Nicholson. One of the things that you're looking for on a team, especially when you've clinched a playoff spot already. I know we've talked about what there is to play for Orleans, but you never want to see your defense getting sloppy when crunch time is right around the corner in the season.
Justin Coons now digs in for Brewster. Coons with a runner on first and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th for Brewster. Hinson misses outside, counts now 1-0 on Coons. Coons struck out twice today in the 2nd and the 4th, but in his last at-bat in the 5th, got a ribby single. Was able to bring home Chandler Taylor and make this the score that it is now. Swing and a miss there from Justin Coons. Counts now 1-1. The number 14 for the Brewster Whitecaps. Hunter Bishop with 2 stolen bases today has a pretty significant lead over at first as he's going. The throw from Groshans is a little bit low, and Hunter Bishop slides into 2nd safely, so make that 3 stolen bases on the day for Hunter Bishop.
get the best jump in that one, not the best throw from Groshans behind the dish, but Hunter Bishop has always been a confident and aggressive base runner, and he's showcasing that today. He's been free to take risks on the base paths, and so far has done a very good job.
So with Bishop at second, there is now another runner in scoring position for Justin Coons. Could make it his 9th RBI, as Bishop has a lot of speed, so potentially could bring him home. Here comes the 2-1. This one fouled, a hard foul on the first base line, drops in front of the bullpen for the Orleans Firebirds. Count moves to 2-2. The Whitecaps lead 5-2. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 out, runner on second. This game means a lot for both teams. Here comes a 2-2. A breaking ball misses inside. Count runs full on Justin Coons. Orleans is up just 1 point on YD in terms of East Division standings. They're trying to hold on and get home field advantage for all of the playoffs, or at least the East Division side of things. Here comes the payoff pitch. This one hit hard and finds the gap over the second base bag. Justin Coons gets a ribby single for the second time today. Hunter Bishop rounded third and was able to come home, and now this is a 6-2 game. Brewster building on their lead, and Justin Coons having himself a day after striking out in his first 2 at-bats, has 2 RBI singles back-to-back.
Well, one of the big things that Jamie Shevchik wanted to see out of these few games before the postseason starts is to see guys heat up. Maybe Justin Coons is starting the beginning of a hot streak here with these 2 ribby singles. I'm sure Jamie Shevchik will be thrilled if that were the case.
And now it's Darius Hill's turn with Justin Coons at first. Here comes the first pitch from Hintzman. That one misses upstairs. Counts now 1-0 on Hill. As you mentioned, Carter, Hill's the only guy in the lineup right now for the Whitecaps that hasn't gotten on base today. That one's swing and a miss there from Darius Hill. Count moves to 1-1. Hill batting .229 for the Whitecaps this year. Another guy that's come in as a reserve player for Brewster, typically in outfield, as he'll hit one into the right field side, and that one will be gloved by Scott, in left field. Looks like that one might have been just a little bit foul, but Scott was able to get under it. So there's plenty of room over there on the left field side. So that's 2 outs now for Brewster, and Darius Hill retreats back to the dugout. And it's going to be Zach Gahagan up to bat for the Whitecaps. Gahagan, another guy that's having a good day for the Whitecaps. You can say that about most of this lineup for Brewster, but Gahagan got his 2nd RBI of the day today and worked 2 walks, as he'll foul the next pitch straight behind him. Gahagan calls for time and then is now back in the batter's box. Counts now 0-1. Hinson holding the set. Here comes the 0-1. That one drops in for a called strike, so Hinson goes ahead in the count 0-2. Trying to end this inning with just 1 run coming across for Brewster. It came on a Justin Coons RBI single that brought home Hunter Bishop. Bishop got on an E4. Coons is going, as he's now caught in a little bit of a rundown. Justin Coons, and he will get to the bag safely. They dropped the ball. Orleans, Ethan Paul just kind of dropped the ball there. Pasatempa and him were unable to communicate well, dropped the ball, and Justin Coons avoids a rundown situation. And Zach Hagan is still up to bat with the 0-2. Justin Coons with a huge smile on his face as he knows he just avoided a very difficult situation. And that could have ended the inning, and now still a chance for Brewster to keep this offense going. And
it looks like a few players on the Whitecaps wanted to balk there on the hurler. It sure seemed like a kind of a strange move. But in any case, all's well that ends well.
0-2. This one fouled straight behind him by Gahagan, who stays alive in the count. Count still 0-2 on Hintzman. Just trying to end this inning. It's been kind of a difficult one for the Orleans Firebirds. We've seen an error, and then on that play, just a bit of a miscue there.
And they scored that in error. They put an error up on the board. I'm not sure who that's on.
So if that is indeed an error, that's going to be 5 today for the Firebirds. As the pitch from Hintzman misses upstairs, counts now 1-2 on Gahagan. Hintzman takes a deep breath and holds a set. Here comes the 1-2. That one again misses upstairs. Count moves to 2-2. So Gahagan showing some discipline, working his way back into this count. It's even at 2. As I mentioned before, he's worked 2 walks today, Zach Gahagan. And going into this game, he only had worked 5 on the year. As Gahagan, this one tailing foul. On the move is Brandon Reilly in right, and he gets under it in foul ground. So that does indeed end this 7th inning, but Brewster scores a run to make this a 6-2 game. They take the lead over the Orleans Firebirds through 7 innings of play. On the other side, we've got the top of the 8th inning. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. The Orleans Firebirds are getting ready to bat. It's going to be 9-2-1 due up in this inning, and they'll face a new pitcher once again. A lot of pitching changes today for both teams. It's going to be Jonathan Stever on the mound. Originally not scripted by Jamie Shevchuk to be pitching today, but Jonathan Stever is very used to being thrown out there in situations where he was not expected to go. We saw him come in for Lingenfelter against Chatham, come in for Paulie Milto, against Chatham, in a situation he didn't think he was going to pitch, as throws a first strike to Brendan Shearer, and then we saw him come in a little bit early for Ryan Avendano on the road at Hyannis. So Stever is used to these type of situations, as once again throws another strike, this just above the knees to Shearer. Count moves to 0-2. Shearer is over at third base today. We saw him register an error over there. The 0-2 misses way outside. Stever trying to get Shearer to chase on that one, but it's a no-go. Counts now 1-2. Here comes the 1-2. A swing and a miss, and Jonathan Stever enters the game and gets a strikeout against the first batter he faces, and there's now 1 out in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, that's a good sign for Whitecaps fans, because Stever has been a terrific workhorse for Jamie Shevchuk's team, but has been a little streaky at times for Brewster, so looked like he had his best stuff there.
And now he'll face Jimmy Herron for the Orleans Firebirds. Here comes the first pitch. That one a strike just above the knees. Counts now 0-1 on Heron, the leadoff hitter today. The only time Heron's gotten on base was in the 6th inning where he got hit by a pitch. This one misses below the knees. Counts now 1-1 on Heron. Zach Schneider hit Jimmy Heron, and Heron was able to come home after Ethan Paul hit a 2-run homer, as Heron finds the gap between third base and shortstop, and he will get on with a single. Nice piece of hitting there by Jimmy Heron, just split Gahagan and Connor Smith. That one dropped in, and Jimmy Heron, as we've talked about, very, very dangerous. Coach Jamie Shepchick says whenever Jimmy Heron gets on, it's basically like a double because that guy steals bases left and right. We've seen him do it against the Brewster Whitecaps multiple times this year, and Ethan Paul's now up to bat for the Orleans Firebirds. Here comes the first pitch. This one hit to Christian Molfetta, who gloves it over at second. A throw to Connor Smith, and they'll complete a double play. What a great play there from Christian Molfetta. Dove on the ground to make the play, threw it over to Connor Smith, who then threw it over to first, and that is going to be a 4-6-3 double play to get out of a little mini jam there for the Brewster Whitecaps. There is just one hit in that inning. No runs come through for the Orleans Firebirds, and they will leave nobody on. The score is still Brewster 6, Orleans 2 after 7.5 innings of play. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Brewster leads Orleans 6-2. Connor Smith, Nick Dunn, and Kyle Datris, that's going to be 9-2-1, all due up for the Brewster Whitecaps. They're going to still be facing JT Hinsman on the mound for the Firebirds. Connor Smith digging in right now for Brewster. Here comes the first pitch to Smith. This one, a little blooper that is going to be gloved by the second baseman, Paul, for the Orleans Firebirds, and that's going to be a quick out there for the Brewster Whitecaps. Now it's going to be Nick Dunn's turn. We've seen him hit a couple of hard hit balls. One in the 4th inning ended up being a single, and then in the 6th he had a hard hit line drive that just was gloved by the Orleans Firebirds. Here comes the first pitch to Dunn. This one hits on the first base line. Passatempa able to stop it and run over to the bag and beat out Nick Dunn. So really quickly, 2 retired here in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Brewster Whitecaps.
Yeah, good to see from Hinson from a Firebirds fan's perspective. This is a time where you want a guy to come in and eat up innings efficiently, and has done so far in this frame.
Now with 2 outs, Kyle Datris enters the batter's box for Brewster. Datris has a home run to his name today. Homered in the 5th inning for the first time in the CCBL. Does have 10 career homers at UNC. Here comes the first pitch. That one misses outside to Kyle Datris. Counts now 1-0. Datris also got on in the first off of a single and was able to come home to score the first run the Whitecaps had this inning, the first of 6, as Hinsman paints the outside corner. Counts now 1-1 on Datris. And then in the 6th, Kyle Datris got on on an E5 over from Shearer at third today for the Orleans Firebirds as Datras fouls this one, chops it right behind him. Right to Chandler Taylor, waiting in the on-deck circle for the Brewster Whitecaps. Counts 1 and 2, 2 outs, nobody on for Kyle Datras. Here comes the 1-2. And that is going to be a called strike 3. Caught Kyle Datras looking. Doesn't quite like that call as he'll walk back, but that's 3 up, 3 down for JT Hintzman. A very quick bottom of the 8th inning. Brewster does not get a hit. No runs come through, and nobody left on for the Brewster Whitecaps. The score is still Whitecaps 6, Firebirds 2. We played 8 innings at Stony Brook Field. The 9th inning on its way. Stick with us. You're watching Brewster Whitecaps baseball on Lower Cape TV, channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. It's the top of the 9th inning. Jonathan Stever still on the mound for Brewster. And he'll face Nico Decolotti. Steven Scott and Kevin Stroshine, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in this Orleans lineup. Stever trying to preserve this Brewster win. Could be the last 3 outs of this game. Here comes the pitch from Stever. This one hit right to him. That looks like it hits Stever in the arm. He turns around and runs to the ball, but not before Nico Decolotti can get to first. So that's going to be an infield single for Nico Decolotti. Looks like that one just came right at Stever and kind of clipped him in the shoulder as he turned around. And that's going to be a base runner for the Orleans Firebirds. They're trying to mount a comeback. They're down 6-2, as I mentioned, in the top of the 9th.
Good to see that Stever's going to be all right to continue. That's always scary when a line drive heads toward a pitcher's direction, but looks like he'll be able to soldier on.
And now it's going to be Steven Scott. This is a dangerous guy at the plate. He's had a tough day today for the Firebirds, but he is a power hitter for Orleans. As I mentioned, he won the home run derby as he'll hit a high pop fly. Moving is Hunter Bishop, and it looks like Chandler Taylor will call him off over at right center and make the play. So a big out there as Steven Scott goes down, and now Brewster just 2 outs away from getting this win, but Nico Decolotti still at first.
For Orleans right now, the objective is to get the tying run up. And so Nico Decolotti, who we talked about how aggressive this team has been on the base pass. Decolotti's already got a stolen base today. I'm sure he's going to be plenty conservative there.
First pitch from Stever. Called strike. Counts now 0-1 on Kevin Stroshine. Stroshine, another guy for the Firebirds that had kind of a tough day. Had 2 pop-ups as the next pitch from Stever just misses. Counts now 1-1. Stroshine, again, 2 pop flies in the 2nd and the 5th, and then struck out in his last at-bat in the 6th. Right on the outside corner from Zach Snyder, as this one fouled on the first base side, drops right in front of the bullpen for the Orleans Firebirds. Stroshine takes a couple of practice swings and re-enters the batter's box. Counts now 1-2. Here comes the pitch. This one just barely fouled on the third base side, right to the bat boy today for the Brewster Whitecaps. Just kind of rolled softly on that side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kevin Stroshine staying alive in this one. Jonathan Stever trying to end the game with the Whitecaps win. They're up 6-2. Here comes the 1-2. That one bounces in front of Coons. He looks to make the throw. Decolotti going, and he will be safe at second. A close call there from Vincent Mendina, who's over at third today, the umpire, but he says that Decolotti is safe on a steal, so he will swipe second. Justin Coons, that did have a nice throw, was able to get out his crouch quickly, but not in time, according to Mendina. So Decolotti is now in scoring position, but Kevin Stroshine went out via the strikeout. So now it's Jack Scroshans who will hit one over to third. Shortstop Connor Smith with a throw to Kyle Datras, and that ends the game. So despite that little swipe of second, the Brewster Whitecaps are able to take this win 6-2 over the Orleans Firebirds. A big win for Brewster and potentially a big loss for the Orleans Firebirds, as Brewster is neck and neck with Chatham fighting for the 3-4 spot and who will play who in the playoff picture in the East Division, and that's the same thing for the Firebirds, who are just 1 point up on the Whitey Red Sox for first and second. So we could see some movement in the East Division based on this game, and then Whitey is playing Chatham. That one's set to start in 30 minutes, so this game has a lot of implications for who gets home field advantage and how this playoff picture ends up.
Yeah, it really is kind of a tangled web in the Eastern Division about who's going to play whom, how everything's going to be handled in the playoffs. And for Brewster, I think it's kind of the right decision that Jamie Shevchik has made with this club, which is, listen, he's just going to focus on his team. He's not going to scoreboard watch. He's not going to kind of distract himself and the team with looking at all the possible permutations, of which there are many. He's just going to try and get guys hot, keep the team going, and whoever they play, it's going to be a great club. Whether it's Whitey or Orleans, they're going to play, in my opinion, one of the two best teams in the league. And so Brewster's going to have to be prepared regardless of who they wind up matching up against come Saturday.
So Brewster wins 6-2 over Orleans. Stay with us, though. We have a post-game show. Aiden Doyle will talk to the player or players of the game. There's many to choose from in this one. A great game by the Brewster Whitecaps. So don't go anywhere. You're going to be listening to the Brewster Whitecaps post-game show after this. And you're watching all of this action on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live on YouTube. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. Well, our own Aiden Doyle has Tony Losi on the sidelines. He only pitched 2 innings, but they were a good 2 innings. Aiden, take it away.
Thanks, Maura. Here with Tony Losi. Tony, you got the start today through 2 perfect innings. How important was it for you? You knew you were only going 2, but to set the tone off on the right foot for the Whitecaps today.
Yeah, it was all about the mindset. Even before the game, I told myself I was going a complete game just to make sure I knew I prepared myself just more for 2 innings, just in case I had to go back out there, just so I didn't take it as just 2 innings and you're done. I mean, like, just go out there and blow it out. I was trying to lower my walks and everything, and I ended up not walking anybody today.
The bullpen obviously threw 7 innings after you. What did you see from your fellow pitchers?
No, they did great. They did awesome. They came in. Joe Demers came in, did a great job. Zach came in, did a great job. And then right there, Stever closed it at the end. That's really good for us as a team, good for us as a staff. I mean, we've always been one of the best staff guys in the league so far. Even our numbers showed it was number 2 in the league, and we're going to continue doing that.
This has been an Orleans Firebirds team that the entire year basically has been the premier team in the Cape League. The last time you beat them was way back on opening night. It's also a potential first-round playoff matchup for you guys. How big is it to beat them in your final matchup against them going into the playoffs?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, they threw their all-star against us, and we got to them early. We put up a lot of hits. Our hitters are doing really well for us, and they just keep hitting. We're going to keep pitching.
You were also named the Coca-Cola Cape League Pitcher of the Week. How does it feel to receive that honor?
I mean, it feels good. I still got to go back to work. Still got to get ready for a start on Saturday.
Thanks, Tony. Congrats on the win.
Thanks so much, Aiden. And yes, the Brewster Whitecaps held the Orleans Firebirds to 2 runs, but the offense really came alive in this game. They scored 6 runs, and all of which kind of came from unlikely suspects for the Whitecaps. I mean, Nick Dunn, he had an RBI. You can say he's definitely a likely suspect with a 17-game hitting streak, but then the rest of the offense, 2 RBIs for Justin Coons, and then Kyle Datras with a big solo homer, and we also saw Molfetta and Gahagan each get an RBI, so some guys that usually come off the bench really stepping up in this game, and kind of a different lineup from Jamie Shevchik, and these guys really just came in and stepped up.
Yeah, it's crazy when you consider the competition that they're going up against. I mean, Orleans and YD are really the cream of the crop in the league this season, and Brewster was able to really put up a good showing. It really does, you get the feeling, and I know Jamie Shevchik will be talking to us a little bit, maybe we can hear it straight from the horse's mouth, but it feels like his team is peaking at the right time, heading into the playoffs. We've seen good performances up and down the lineup the past 3 games now for Brewster. Even when they lost to YD back on Saturday, when the regulars came in, they got a couple of runs in the 9th inning when they were starting a lot of their reserves at the beginning of that ball game, and Jamie Shevchik said as much to us after the game. So for Brewster and the offense, it really is looking like this team is